to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 215. That is 215. I am
Hi.
Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky.
Hi there.
Were you getting the second high end for the patrons right
Nope.
ahead?
Nope, this is their high. Hello, patrons.
Oh,
There we go.
Anyway, leading right off with that, head on over to patreon.com/carbitrage on
And
this.
Then you can get a second hello.
Yeah, see, if you're listening and you're not a patron, ignore that second
Yeah, you
hello.
only
That
get
wasn't
one.
That wasn't for you.
You only get one. But
Yeah.
if you're a patron, you get two. That's to say hello, patrons.
Patreon.com/carbitrage. On our custom-designed webpage on Patreon, you will find two open-ended levels of support for content consumers like you to support content producers like us, and in this case, you to us.
And, yeah, it's kind of like NPR. You know, NPR is like always like, hey, you can help support us. But, like, they're like low-key,
Yeah.
or it's theft. I'm saying it's theft.
And I am saying we'll still make it even if you don't.
We'll make
do
it either way.
But we appreciate it.
And we understand that you may be stealing from us.
But
and that's
also,
okay.
it could be theft. And
Yeah, it
that's,
could be
that's-
theft. And
if it's over-
theft is...
Depending on how many episodes, that might be a felony level.
It could be a felony level theft. You don't get pulled over for that.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Carbitrage, a primary offense in 48 states.
yes, it is.
Anyway, I'm on a tall silver bullet here, Coors Light.
I'm still drinking this Ven Mexican Dark Lager. It's solid.
I was just about to ask. I'm glad you had an opinion on it.
I would.
We didn't talk about it
If
much.
Ven had this more readily available, I'd drink it more often.
And that container size is fine too,
No, if I can get it in like a tall boy, it'd be perfect. So I don't want to be like.
because that is a tall and wide boy,
Yeah, this is a huge boy.
and it's 5%.
Yes,
20 IBU though. I bet it is pretty good.
it's perfect.
Excellent.
It's really good.
All right, leading right off into topics, I want to talk about YouTube recommendations being a little bit crappier now than they ever have been.
Yeah,
because
what the hell?
Nobody makes content anymore.
No,
everyone
like
is
even the people that make content. My YouTube recommendations have been the shitter.
okay.
Because so like I usually get a bunch of like writing like YouTubers that I follow, like Brandon Sanderson, and who's a famous author, and other people, and just like stuff like about writing. But I also do like a bunch of like nerd stuff, like physics stuff, and then I do like Penguin Zero and Star Wars stuff. And a very, very small percentage of it is car shit.
Okay.
Because I deal with cars all day, and I don't like automotive YouTubers for the most part.
I don't. I mean, as a content producer, I don't typically consume that much, but I've found that the people that I subscribe to and I like the most have wound back the most through 2020.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I'll scroll past a video 5-6 times and like it'll have to start like raising itself in my cast before I'll start considering it as a relation to another thumbnail.
I've just been getting like nonsense where it's like, hey, you like physics, here's a tank. I'm like, I don't care about that. Or,
Hey, you like cars? Here's a test of work gloves.
yeah, seriously, it's
That's
literally
what it was on my
it's just
channel.
random nonsense. It's not that people aren't producing, because like, so like I watch like every
Some aren't.
Simon Whistler channel I subscribe to, because I love Simon Whistler. He's my favorite YouTuber, my favorite single YouTuber.
Okay.
And so like I know for a fact he puts out 2 videos per day between his channels.
Wow. Holy cow.
Dude makes 6
Dude,
figures
that's
a
more
year.
than Joe Rogan.
This dude non-stop has a shitload of channels. He just makes stuff non-stop. But it's like I just get random shit like this, like Disney's stunt robots could change how Hollywood makes action movies. I don't care.
The
It's from
algorith-
2 years ago. I've had 2 years to watch this shit, and I haven't chosen to watch it. George Michael's Unfailing Internal Clock by Stephen Balloon. 7 years ago. Haven't watched that. Don't intend to ever watch that. It makes no sense.
I'm curious
Here's
now
something
to pull
about
up
guns I don't
YouTube.
care about. Like, there's a bunch of not. You won't believe what happened the first time I fought a Marauder in
Oh,
Doom Eternal.
Don't
Like,
worry, guys. I have Folded Man finally stands upright.
Yeah, I got
after
that one
28
for a
years.
while. I don't give a shit about any of that.
So anyway, I was paging through, slowly diminishing my, well, actually increasing my hatred for myself, and I decided I don't really care about it, but I do like Chris Harris. He's now obviously producing for Top Gear UK,
Yeah.
and he put out a video about the new 2021 GT3.
My only issue with Chris Harris, as much as I love him, he reminds me, he's like the Martha Stewart of cars, where he's so passionate about literally everything he reviews.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me want to kill that passion. Like, if I was a producer, I'm like, you are just solely testing Dacia Sanderos for the rest of your life.
And I just
like,
love how the
you're
interior
literally,
fit and finish is just so
I will put you out of
perfect
the automotive business forever. And you are just forced to solely just the most mind-numbing, terrible car. Like,
He
the
would
most
find a way.
exciting car you're ever going to see for the rest of your life, Chris Harris, is a Hyundai Venue.
He would find a way.
I know he would.
He would go,
but that's the
like,
thing,
dig through all the
is
CAD
like,
drawings.
He's
look at the
so
beauty.
passionate about literally everything.
I know,
It's
he's
like
up,
it's
he's
like
up on a lift right now
Yeah.
looking at the canards underneath it.
And like with Martha Stewart, like, it's not that I dislike Martha Stewart, it's just that she's so passionate about every little thing. Like, this is a nice thing. Like, listen, motherfucker, I'm gonna put you in the
Pick,
word.
like,
You
3
are-
things.
I'm literally, your new show is you are going to a third world country, you're reviewing houses. That's what you're doing, Martha Stewart. And I just want to do that with Chris Harris and be like, you're going to Uzbekistan and you're reviewing cars.
Oh, no.
Enjoy all your...
Here's
all,
a Zaz Umlitz.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here's your Zamyad Z24. Show
No,
me
that's a
passion
good
about
vehicle.
I know it is, but it's something that that'd be the most
This
passionate.
gearbox is fabulous.
But that's so anyway, with Chris Harris, he's just so overly passionate about everything.
He is, but he still has Neil as his videographer. Neil is amazing, and I like his passion because it makes me watch an entire video, start to finish, about a car I don't really care about, other than the fact it is probably going to be the last bastion of internal combustion manual transmission sold to the general consuming public.
So, you are right. As much as it makes me want to just like destroy his will to live with terrible vehicles.
These two things can live
Yeah,
side by side.
these are entirely like they are not mutually exclusive.
Correct.
Because I do agree, he is a wonderful YouTuber. It just like I just really want to smash his hope to live. Like, I really want him to review his Citroen Cactus.
Those are also awesome.
I know I want to watch him review it because it's not something he'd care about.
I agree. He should review garbage. It would be amazing.
Yeah, that's if you want me to watch Top Gear, get these fast cars out of here. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, it's like
'Cause I
Car
never,
show logic.
I never, ever will in my life give a shit about a supercar being reviewed on the television.
Here's a rule of thumb. If you will see this car in the next 5 years at a Cars and Coffee event, it is not allowed to be videographed.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, because if you look back at like all the cars that Top Gear, like they were excited to do on Top Gear,
Yeah.
it's nothing that I care about. All the things that they were dragged into are the things I rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm never in my life, as much as I like.
Remember the Progiola Kalisa they bought brand new?
As much as I love the Jaguar XKR,
Which we've established you really do.
I really love them. They're really dumb. I would never watch the Top Gear YouTube or the Top Gear video of that.
No.
I don't care about it. I like that car because it's dumb.
Yeah.
And I like the little bits and bobs on it. And I admit it's dumb. I don't want to watch a review of it. I know what I like about it.
I love that you're getting salty.
Teach me about something that I shouldn't care about. Tell me why I should like the Mirage. That is why I am so pro Mirage, because I know that every automotive YouTuber hates the Mirage.
And that's where Carbitrage has done the world a favor.
Exactly, because we actually review the garbage.
Well, we've told... Yeah, it's not garbage. It's amazing stuff.
The quote-unquote garbage.
What's
yes.
that? What's the America truck little boy that's like a...
Oh, yes, the Premac Taos. The Premac.
Premac Taos.
Yeah, Premac Taos, yeah.
That,
UAZ Patriot.
not shit. Good vehicle.
I'm not lying. As soon as I can get one, I will buy one.
That's so cute.
Because I know for a fact that I can afford it because it's
So
Russian.
good.
And it's probably going to be free, and there's probably going to be some really, really sketchy financing on it.
I don't even care if I have to finance it through a cartel. It will be worth it.
Yeah, seriously. But that's cool that he reviewed that. That's fun. I'm happy it's got a 6-speed still. I'm happy it's got a 6-speed, not a 7-speed, because a 7-speed's stupid.
It is, and they knew that, and they got rid of it.
Good.
Although it's still in the base Carrera. But, I mean, like, again, I could not care less. You know this. About the last, 10 years of Porsche. I just don't care.
You want to know something that's just like a quandary of me?
Yes.
If that 7-speed was not in a Porsche, I'd care about it. If that manual 7-speed was in like a
C8 Corvette.
maybe. If that 7-speed was in a Ford Ranger, I would care about it.
Oh God. Because it would, it'd be a 6-speed with a super low, and
Yeah.
that would make it a 7-speed.
If it's the exact same transmission, you put
So
that
they
in
put a
this,
transaxle in a Ranger.
in something that doesn't belong having that exact transaxle in it.
I just want it to be something cab forward then, if it's going to be that dumb.
Even better, they should make a new forward-controlled Jeep with that
should.
transmission.
Done.
That'd be perfect.
Perfect.
But anyway, it's Porsche is just a company where,
You're welcome, corporate Porsche.
yeah, Porsche is just a company where I've never. They make things that I care about, but as a company, whenever somebody gets excited about their things, I can't help but hate it.
That's your inner misanthrope coming out, my friend.
Like for me, it's like, if somebody ever tells me like, you know what the best Porsche ever made is a 930, I'd be like, as much as like in my heart of hearts, I agree. It would take every fiber of my being saying, you know what, you're wrong. You know why? Because the pre-facelift 924 was actually the best Porsche. It's totally underrated. Like I would always come up with some dumb argument like that.
You wouldn't actually use the real answers?
No, I just
Okay.
come up with some dumb bullshit to make them mad because I'm mad that they're happy.
Wow, that...
Even though in my heart of hearts, like I'll totally go to somebody with a Lamborghini and say, yeah, 930s are totally better than this, but you know, and then the person with the Lamborghini goes, yeah, I agree.
I hate that I know where you're coming from.
I know, right?
Because like, I'll go to a car show and like, I will
they're
fundamentally agree with these people, and I will find a way to disagree.
They're just way too excited about it. It's like, I have no idea, like, it's just like, it makes me want to just like, it's like Chris Harris, like,
I need to curb their enthusiasm.
I need to curb his enthusiasm. Like, I just need to destroy this. Like, it's the same reason why, like, when humans
I wanted to destroy
when
something
humans
beautiful.
see something cute, they smile and they bare their teeth because it's actually a natural reaction to try to attack it. It's a weird thing that it is something that's like evolved into humans. It's like that, where it's just like I see it and I agree, and I'm just like I need to push this car off a cliff. Like, I have this like
You are Tyler Durden.
I have this uncontrollable urge to just push this car into the ocean.
Okay, Prince Philip.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, that's why I like Lamborghini people, because Lamborghini people admit that their cars are rubbish.
Oh
They
yeah,
know-
like, straight
they
out
know-
of the gate, like, oh, it's a terrible car.
They all go, yeah, this car's terrible, and that's how I like Lamborghinis, because like they don't do that.
That's why you hate the Murcielago.
I hate the Murcielago. I absolutely detest Huracan owners. Also,
Good job, you turned your key.
so speaking of Huracan owners, Donut Video did a thing on like the best Lamborghinis,
Okay.
and everybody's like, "How about the Huracan? It is technically the best cheap Lambo that you can get." Yeah, well, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
compared to like the Gallardo, and they're like, "Yeah,
Baby Lambo.
They're like, "Yeah, it's better, but like, am I wrong for not wanting it? Like, I don't want it to be good." And they're like, "Every car on here sucked. Like, we like the ones that suck more."
Like, do you want a Urraco? Like, hell yeah, I do.
Yes, I want the Urraco. Give me the Lamborghini Silhouette. Like, the redheaded
yeah.
stepchild that was between the Urraco and the even more forgotten Yalpa.
Both great-looking cars.
Yeah, they're
All
great.
three great-looking cars.
All three are great cars. But that's the thing is, like, I don't know. It's whenever somebody gets way too excited about how good their car is, it makes me hate it. So that's me. Speaking of cars, on our car podcast.
Yeah, we get back to it at some
Yeah,
point.
that was my segue here about cars. I want to talk about, so Montana has a new EV bill, and there was a epic Twitter thread that happened. It was like an on-floor debate between senators and the press
Okay.
about this bill, and like it happened on Twitter, and it was just wild. And they were talking about it on Make Me Smart with Kai and Molly, which is an NPR podcast.
Which is
But-
theft if you're not paying for it, by the way.
Yes. But anyway, I'll give you the TLDR. So
Okay.
EVs, they don't pay road tax yearly, like cars do based off of gasoline, because your road tax in Montana is at the gas pump.
So it's like Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. So Montana is doing a $400 a year road tax on EVs.
I can imagine how ass mad EV owners are, because when Minnesota put in the $75 one, people with $150,000 Teslas were freaking out.
So do you want to hear the shit about this one?
I sure do.
When you do the math, on average, a Montana car, which is like a Ford F-15000 dually carrying a horse trailer.
Or a tax haven registered vehicle.
Yeah, like it's a Montana car.
Yes.
They pay about $150 a year on road tax.
Oh.
At the gas pump. So people are losing their minds.
I see.
$400 versus $150 a year.
That is a lot more.
Commercial EVs EVs that are registered commercially, like a business car, $1,500 a year. So let's say let's say you have a business that's in Montana and you register your Tesla Model S and Montana is under your business instead of under your name. It's $1,500 a year.
That is unconscionably high.
I know, it's wild. So anyway, it's everybody doing the math, and then it was like the entire Montana House, which they're all Republican, all going bananas about it, and they're all saying like, no, this is totally fair, and they're like, in the face of math, they were like, no, this is totally fair. We don't know what you're talking about. Like they were just bold-faced lying about it.
Tell a flat earther in space, like the thing out there that you're looking at
round.
with your
I
eyes
tell you, yeah.
is round. Like, no, it's flat.
Yeah, no,
it's a noise supply.
Literally, it's so wild to me.
So, for reference to our listeners, I just quick did the math. So, the average gas tax per gallon is 28.5 cents in Minnesota.
That's
so, in order to, at 25 miles per gallon, pay... Okay, so it's $75 a year right now for EVs above and beyond our tabs.
Yeah.
That is equivalent to 6,700 miles driven. So, if you drive your EV less than that, you're actually paying more, effectively.
Yeah,
a higher percentage.
Everybody uses it more. 6,000 miles, that's less than you can ever even lease a car for because it's not possible to drive that little.
Exactly. So, like, it really should actually be higher. Like, 75 is pretty good because you're avoiding that much gas tax.
$150 a year is where you should be for your gas tax, like, on average.
Or how about we just change it so it's not a gas tax, it's not an EV thing. You find some other way, like legalizing pot and tap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's things you can do. A tire tax, actually, would make sense.
Seriously, yeah, that'd be
that'd
easy
actually
to put
be
in.
the easiest
I
way.
think you've inadvertently come up with an excellent solution.
Tire tax makes sense.
It's a really good
because the vehicles that use their tires more, either driven more,
and
or they're a high-performance vehicle, or it's a commercial vehicle.
And no tax on winter tires.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that also get people to get their winter tires.
Sure would.
But like,
Ryan, you're a genius.
Actually, even if you did tax it on winter tires, then you're using your tires less. So you're paying less tax if you have winter tires.
Why the hell don't we tax tires then?
Yeah, this is stupid.
Pro tip.
Why are you taxing gas? You should tax tires.
Okay, Montana, you heard it here first. You're doing it wrong.
Why am I not a politician?
I am so glad you're not.
Because I come up with I'd fix things.
I would have to watch C-SPAN if you were. That'd be the problem.
Yeah, I'd fix things.
Anyway.
Don't worry, I'm not going to become a politician. I've got way too many other things going on.
Well, at least you have the voice of one.
I can yell. I can yell and be upset about things, so.
And both of those qualities will be very excited for my poor segue, which is we've been invited back to the Twin City Auto Show for the second year running to do our podcast.
I'm actually very excited about this. You told me about this.
Me too. So I briefly had a call with one of the Nemmerfeger people.
I think we were actually the last podcast that was able to record because they ended it the day after us.
I believe so. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have been there, you know.
Yeah, because Drive Cartel they were doing it like 2 days after us. Like we did on a Saturday, and I think they were actually doing it on that Sunday. No, they did it on Monday. That's what it was.
Okay.
And so on that Sunday, it got ended.
Oh God. Yeah, it was a day or two after we presented. But anyway, normally the Minneapolis Twin City Auto Show is at our convention center, which is a lovely venue, even though they stuck us in truck country last year. But this year, it's going to be a much more back to the 50s-esque event. It's going to be at our Minnesota State Fairgrounds.
Perfect.
Which I think is actually going to be pretty great.
You know, I just thought we should be able to bring one of our cars to the podcast event.
I'm sure I could talk to...
don't have to walk.
I asked them about this, and so where they're going to put us is the amphitheater right by Blue Barn, and the entire transit entrance. We can park.
It's right there. Yeah,
we can park right there.
I think we should just be able to bring one of our cars up to the show. We'll have something.
I haven't had the second call with them yet.
We should add that in because you actually have can you bring the E30 or something.
There's a huge lot right behind it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have like the E30. There's all sorts of interesting cars that we could have to draw.
We could take
there.
Brexit there, which has a big back end, and then it could overheat and park and cool down all day.
And then dump coolant all over people.
Yay!
Yay!
Anyway, that's a good idea, but I'm still waiting on answers for what kind of audio system hookup they have. It sounds like they'll have that for us. I'm not sure if they'll have any sort of visual aid display. I asked about the internet speed. These folks were doing their best, but they were a little caught off guard. But they gave us a prime time spot, which is the first Saturday, and they gave us the whole day if we want it.
That's awesome.
So I'm just like, all right, well, right now the plan is I think to get there at 11 a.m. to start setting up, actually do a podcast starting at noon, and then we just go through our regular 2-episode thing.
Yeah, I'd do
but
that.
I'm sure we'll have to, build out a couple episodes just to make sure they're extra good. But yes, broadcast koozies.
We will do a tier list live.
Excellent.
I should get a giant board and make a tier list board.
Just in case.
That'd be hilarious to have a live tier list board, like the top of your cool wall.
It's the cool wall. We're gonna need a scissor lift then for the S tier. But no, I'm really excited about this venue, honestly, because that amphitheater has built-in seating. That was a big issue we had last year where nobody could actually sit and watch the show if they wanted to.
And we will fill it because we have so many patrons that we can easily fill that.
And patrons are required to attend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we will be able to fill it twice.
But anyway, if
there shall be mincing room only.
Oh my god. So I think it's next month, the 15th. I think is what I told you. It was a regular podcast recording day. We'll let you guys know when we're recording. But if you're in the area, please come.
Dope.
See us. Pump
I will
for that.
be vaccinated by then too.
Hell yeah! Get your second Fauci ouchie.
My second one's on the 9th. I am pissed because it is right after Cinco de Mayo, and Cinco de Mayo always has a really lit lowrider show I'm not going to go to this year. I'm kind of bummed for that, but whatever.
Oh no!
I know.
And sorry, did you get Pfizer or Moderna?
Pfizer, so I need the double.
Yeah, no, I know
double.
that. Those are both double, but
yeah. Well, Moderna kind of.
I'm curious to see if the second one really takes you out like the J&J did for me.
I will totally go to the Cinco de Mayo show, totally wiped out, and I'll pass out on a bus stop eating an elote.
Wow. Okay, that's a rough mental image.
Me. My fancy corn stuck to my shirt.
I just picture Stephen Hawking pre-wheelchair. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not too far off. Anyway, I'm excited for that. So yeah, come out to that Minnesota Auto Show.
It should be good.
We'll talk more shit about crossovers in front of people that are there to look at crossovers.
I doubt we'll be invited back the year after this one, so we'll see.
Guaranteed. It's like my duty to get kicked out of the auto show for talking shit about crossovers.
Terrible vehicles.
They're awful. Buy a Hyundai Venue, even though it's technically a crossover, but I'm calling it a wagon.
Just lower
it's the only one I like.
The taillights are cool.
They're very cool. So I want to talk about Subaru.
Okay.
So, as you know, as everybody in the world knows, I wrote this car. I wrote the 22B that was on Bring a Trailer. I'm very excited.
This car.
Ask me all the questions you have, and I will not answer them for you because I don't want to. It's simple as that. Also, I would feel a little weird answering questions that you should probably be asking the seller. But anyway, that car sold for a bananas price of $312,555 because Subaru. And 555 is 22B is hexadecimal for 555.
People are way too nerdy.
Yes. Now, what I think is even more wild about this is that this actually sold for more than the actual Subaru STI 555 WRC test car sold for a couple of years ago. So this is the road going model. Yeah. So this is the equivalent of a short wheelbase UR Quattro or Quattro.
Okay.
Selling for more than an actual Group B Quattro.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but it did.
Street legal, and somebody's hopefully going to use it, but they
Well,
won't.
it's not yet. It's show display only.
Oh.
Because it's not old enough.
What year it is?
Yeah, it is. It's still within, I think, a year or two of being show display.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years of show display. But, this is an absolutely fantastic car. The dude that sold it is one of the nicest people I've ever dealt with at Bring a Trailer. One of the best sellers. He was a great guy. Yeah, it's car number 256, or number 156, sorry. All the cool stuff that did, honestly, a 22B, there's a lot of cars in Japan that were made in this era that were really rad. And so, there's a high bar to
it's
really...
like that Outback wagon or the whatever it was. It was like a super early.
There's a super high bar that you have to cross to be like really stand out because everything was cool. Like everything came with limited slip differential standard. Everything came with a inline six twin turbo. Everything had.
It's just how you made power. And put
everything
it
had a Getrag manual transmission. Everything like had a four-wheel steering and anti-lock brakes and like every bell and whistle you can think of in the 90s
were so good.
like all these things like that's like what you had to do to compete in like the Japanese bubble era muscle cars. But this car really, even among those, stands out for being different than the rest. Like it's got the actual, I think it's a Momo steering wheel.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's got it's one of 400 that were ever made. The engine was hand modified. Like these are all hand built. Like these are very, very special cars. So a lot of people compare it to like a Supra RZ or something where it's like Supra RZ is really good, but it's not the same as this. The only car I could really compare to a 22B as far as uniqueness goes and like actual value of a car, I would probably say would be like a R34 Skyline GTR in one.
Okay.
That's the only one I could think of where they like lightened everything. They put in like crank windows, no AC. Like that's the only car I could really compare to this for uniqueness, and it still has a rear wiper, which is great.
Yeah, weight reduction, but keep the wiper.
Yeah, keep the wiper. But like it's such a great car. Big fan of it. And you know what, I would totally take an STI over this, but I understand the difference in price. Like I understand why this car is $300,000. Like it makes
Even
sense.
I, who knows nothing except for what you just told me about the car, I get it. I understand why somebody picked this.
It has a 2.2 liter closed deck. Yeah, flat four. Like the engine itself is unique. Dual cam closed deck, I should say.
Yeah. Factory.
Just all sorts of like wild stuff on this car that they did. Like it's literally hard to you just have to go and like read the ad I made for Branch Trailer because that goes through most of the major things that they did.
Plus, it's got like bubbly box flares, which is
yes,
awesome.
Those are quite good.
Which
are also hand laid. Everyone was put on by hand. There was not a machine that made this.
I can't hand lay anything worth doing.
It's and when you get into one, it still feels like an Impreza.
Sure it does. That would be the biggest pisser. It's like, ooh.
You get into it, it still makes the tinny, the echoey.
Dude, it's like getting
close.
into a 2002 turbo, though. It's like
it really, yeah. You get
just
into
getting
it,
into a $5,000 2002 from 50 years ago.
Yeah, like a 2002 turbo. Like this is marginally better than a 510.
if that,
yeah,
let's be honest.
Definitely marginal.
Wow.
But yeah,
it's an unhealthy sum of money, though.
It is very cool, and it's one of those cars where it has its quirks. But you know how I say like I love Lamborghini because they're dumb.
Yeah.
This is a Lamborghini. It totally fits it, and it is worth the money. And it's okay to have a dumb car. It's worth a lot of money because no car worth over $100,000 is a reasonable car. Is not dumb.
Every car that sells for an amount had a second place bidder that bid $1,000 less.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
There's more than one person willing to pay this for this car.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. But I just think it's hilarious. That's sold for more than the actual car.
This this picture kept like popping up on Bring a Trailer, and I just kept scrolling past it when I was getting into my portfolio, whatever you call it, and I didn't even bother to click on it until I saw.
I chose a good one for
Jalopnik.
you did. I chose a very good lead photo.
It looked like a Bring a Trailer listing. I just didn't bother to click on it because it was a Subaru.
Yeah, no,
I figured it was a nice 2.5 RS.
If you ever see a Subaru on Bring a Trailer pop up at you, click on it. If you ever see a Subaru on Bring a Trailer, click on it. Because that's a high bar to reach for a Subaru.
Come to think of it.
Like, if you ever see a Subaru, like, all right, so rule of thumb for Bring a Trailer is we never list mileage unless it's verified and under 50,000 miles.
Okay.
If you ever see a Subaru where it says the miles on the car, that means that's a primo Subaru. Because you never see Subaru. Sorry. You never see Subarus, like, anywhere near 10,000 miles that aren't on, like, their fifth engine and, like, have been told out 3 times with like hail damage.
It's like a yellow Honda, really.
Yeah, it's just a Barbados yellow CRX, possible to find.
In stock condition.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those crosses
not on
blocked
fire.
for $250,000 with documented, never been stolen,
it's
not
honest,
on fire
it's
condition.
Literally, that's an ongoing inside joke at Bring a Trailer. It's like every time we have a CRX and we look at it, like we look at what the original color was, and then we look at the Carfax. And, fire! Damn it!
I found it. Oh, you're like running down the hall, and the next page like comes in.
There was one that was Barbados yellow that we actually listed, I think. And then like if you look at it, it was like originally like silver or something. It was repainted the
okay.
Barbados yellow.
See, that's
and we're
why.
And they're like nuts.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. If there's gonna be a CRX, it's $100,000. It's gonna be a USD and Barbados yellow, SI, Y49 by the way is what the color code is. CRX SI, with the mileage listed on Bring a Trailer. That would
And
be
preferably no fire history.
well. That's the thing is to like list that it has to be a clean Carfax and everything and good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've yet to come across a car where it has a dirty Carfax in under 50,000 miles that's verifiable, but. Oh God, I don't want that day to ever come. I don't want to deal with that
Sounds
conversation.
like a lot of not only that, but it sounds like just a lot of
There's
legwork.
there's a ton of legwork that happens on the back end with every listing. So like if you ever like
nice.
if you ever like list a car on Bring a Trailer, like and your auction specialist says like, hey, we're doing this, go with it. There's a reason for that because your auction specialist doesn't like.
Let me save you from yourself.
Like we don't recommend things on accident. Like we do a lot of homework whenever we write these listings.
You see this? We've sold 58 of this.
Yeah, like we know this car very well.
Please.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, on a very much cheaper note, on a very new note,
Yes.
talking about things that are of a very cool form factor and of a company we currently like. That's too bad Jen is not here to talk about the Sienna.
Man, what?
They are now offering a factory lifted all-wheel drive Sienna.
From Toyota.
Yeah. Yep.
Toyota's making this.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's being made, and it's a factory lifted, off-road designed Sienna. Why, in God's name, if you were already still buying an SUV, would you buy an SUV?
There's no reason to buy, like, there's no reason the Clugger should exist. Because this exists.
Like,
This is so great.
I mean, it needs like BFG all-terrains or
Go
whatever.
Go back to that photo of the rear end.
Oh, yeah.
KHG259. Oh, Subaru used to, depending on your brands, if you ever look at those plates, sometimes they'll
Like the
say
painted
funny
over
things.
factory.
So like Subaru back in the 90s,
Yeah.
they would have LGBTQIA plus coded
Oh.
license plates because the director of American Subaru was she was a member of the LGBT community.
Okay.
It would actually like work that into their marketing, and that's how they actually were known as lesbian cars.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
she would like work in little Easter eggs to the.
Well, now that I know that it was actually like a sponsored thing,
Yeah,
it's
it was
less
a real thing.
interesting.
But I think it's just like really fun. Like Subaru didn't know that, but
It's
she
a great
knew that.
Easter egg.
Yeah,
Sure,
she
sure,
knew
sure.
that, and like Subaru corporate was not aware of that at the time, but she was very aware of that at the time.
Custom ordering the printed license
Yeah.
plate blanks.
Yeah, and so it was really funny how she would do that, and it actually became it was kind of under the table thing where it was like everybody in the LGBT community sort of knew.
Sure.
At the time.
Sure. I mean, it's like the 555 thing. I would never have known that.
Yeah,
but like if you're in the community, like oh,
you get like
it's
22
obvious.
Bs. Oh, it's hexadecimal for 555, which is their sponsor, which was a car company and a cigarette company.
Oh, for
It was a
sake.
cigarette company that sponsored cars and got away with it because it was also a car company that made parts for Subaru.
It's like Mitsubishi sponsoring a.
It's just it's wild.
Oh god, I can't even think of a good analogy.
If
for
you
that.
actually another good podcast, if you ever really want to listen to it, Donut Media did one on Ferrari and Marlboro and all the
Oh,
weird
God.
ways Marlboro's gotten around anti-cigarette advertising. Like, it's
I
just
didn't hear
wild.
the donut one, but I have seen a good number of history things about how Marlboro got around all these regulations and advertising.
Yeah, it's totally insane.
I'm just like, I mean, credit to them. Smart people find the loopholes and they exploit them.
Yeah.
So I really
It
don't
just
have
seems
a
like a
problem
lot
with
of
it.
effort to sell cancer, but okay.
Yeah, smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Not cancer though. This totally awesome
With
Sienna.
the Woodland
I'm so
Special
into
Sienna.
this.
So I mean, really, there's nothing to it other than just swapped out the suspension. But I mean,
It's that's really rad though. Like
it's a minivan. You should just buy this. Why?
Why would you not want this?
if
I want
you
this quite
need-
badly.
If you need space for things, you should buy a minivan. I love to see that Haley just bought an old Odyssey.
I know. You
I
said
saw the van culture plug.
so.
Done. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I
In
actually,
before bags and wheels.
I added her like to it. I was like, she said she was done, and I'm like, I approved it because I'm a mod there.
And then hopefully you introduced her. I'm like, she has
Not
a
yet,
Bois
no.
Sienna.
But no, her Sienna totally has a entire aftermarket behind it. So this is awesome.
Or
I'm
Odyssey,
really
you
excited.
mean?
Yeah, whatever.
We're just looking at a Sienna.
So I want to see this
It's
with.
fine. I don't even mind that it's lifted.
Yeah, no, disconnect the sway bars and put some actual off-road tires on this and take this out to Moab. Like, that'd be great.
This needs BFG all-terrains.
It'd be so awesome on BFG all-terrains with like, you take the Sienna front bumper off, you put on like a brush guard. You put on brush guard. You put on a steel rear bumper.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can increase the incline
Yep,
angles.
the breakovers.
Yeah, you get like running boards on the
Or
side.
approach and departure, sorry.
With like
breakovers.
rock sliders. That'd be perfect. This
Oh,
would be
dude.
such an awesome off-road car.
We need to like email Rain Prisk, the guy who does all the renderings. Like, can you just like put rock sliders and like rock bumpers on this and
exactly.
BFG all-terrains? Because I really want to see this.
I want to see us with all of that. That'd be
And like,
great.
I bet the traction stability is good enough to like brake vector up the Moab.
Oh my god, you'd be awesome.
What?
You could totally do an Iron Man Stewart like livery on it, like the old Toyota Baja 1000 truck.
That would actually be really cool.
That'd be super rad, and you can get him out of retirement and have him with a new Sienna and it's like air conditioned luxury.
Toyota 2021 is your year to make big splashes.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting with the Sienna
I am a
Woodland
big fan
Special.
of this. They should introduce in the WRC and everything. Like actually, I think this would be hilarious in American Rally. Like that'd be so awesome.
Everything's electronically controlled. They could probably squeeze so much out of this platform.
Not only that, like honestly, with the long wheelbase, it would probably be really stable. So like it's the opposite of what most cars are, where you have the short wheelbase for nimbleness. But like for like some track or for some stages, like this would actually be a really good vehicle. And like, that's what I was thinking. Like for like Baja 1000, this would be perfect.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
I mean,
hilarious to see
need
this.
some suspension mods yet, but yes.
Why?
Why aren't people doing more with minivans?
Yeah, this is
I
great.
hope this is the start of a comeback for minivans.
Yeah, I really want it to be because there's so many awesome There's more cool minivans right now than there are cool normal cars.
That's true. And Toyota's doing well on both fronts.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go back to talking about events real quick.
Well, there's one this Saturday.
Yes, I want to talk about now that the world's starting out. What events in 2021 are you excited about? Because I know I'm very excited for Cars and Craft happening on Saturday.
That is currently my favorite recurring Minnesota show because Pasolin is gone.
Yeah, that is probably the best show in the world. I recommend coming to Minnesota solely for this monthly meet that happens.
Yeah,
like
it's really good.
It's entirely worth coming to.
Shows are all about the
curated,
venue.
It is cheap, or it's free. It's
Yeah.
curated.
And
It's
they
in a
have beer.
great venue. They've got good beer. If you don't like beer,
They have a
11
distillery,
Wells
too,
has
yeah.
a great distillery next door. They have food trucks of everything you want. It's family friendly. There's good doggos there.
Are they back in the courtyard now?
Yes, there.
Good.
I think.
I mean, Josh's demo video, which was hilarious, by the way, or Drive Cartels, where he was dancing.
I didn't watch it, but
It's pretty good.
I'll watch it when I get home.
But that was all in the courtyard, so I'm hoping.
Oh, hopefully, yeah, it'd be great if it was. But I'm very, very excited for that. The
That's-
other event that I'm very excited for
Yeah.
is going to be Back to the 50s. I did not realize
Is that happening?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not realize how much I missed that last year until it happened. And it was the only year I've not gone since birth.
Oh my.
Like, literally since birth.
2019 was the first year I went.
Yeah, I've just never. I've gone 29 of 30 years of my life.
Huh.
And you know what? I'm gonna count 2020 because I drove past it and I looked at 50s cars that era. So during that week. So
Okay, that's fair.
actually, yeah, no, I went to El Loro and there was like a mini Back to the 50s that happened. Where it was
Oh,
just like some
yeah.
random people. See, I actually. All right, yeah. So I have gone 30 of 30 years.
Okay. Yep. No, I remember that. I don't know why, but I drove by the breakfast restaurant across the street and I saw.
Yeah,
saw
they
it.
on I think it's like Friday nights they have like a cruise night in Wilmington. But like El Loro, they have a bunch of really cool like vintage cars. Got to meet the owner, I think, of Turquoise Vintage. They do a lot of Pyrex stuff.
Pyrex?
Yeah,
Like the glass?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. The guy's wife collects Pyrex and hawks it, and Jana's like super into it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's very durable. I like Pyrex.
Pyrex is very nice, and some of it's worth a shitload of money.
Really?
Oh, people freak out over it. It's wild.
I should not be surprised that there's a market for
Jana's got
anything.
like a really solid Pyrex collection, so
I did not know that.
as long as the lids are on it, they're worth money.
Huh.
And if the lids are gone, then they're worthless. But if you can get the lid, yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah,
I will
Pyrex.
keep hoarding all the leftover containers I have for my
Also,
mother at my house.
I'm still very strongly considering going to the Race of Gentlemen in
That does
New
sound
Jersey,
really good.
because I really, really want, like,
I forget exactly when that is.
it's
like
October 2nd through the 5th or something.
If I am not
Early
busy,
October.
I will go with, because it looks like a lot
Quite
of
badly
fun.
want to go to that. I just really want to.
I'm doing Pikes Peak this year.
When
That's
is that?
June 6th. It's way earlier than I anticipated this year.
Oh wait, it is early. Also, there's no train.
Oh.
But it is earlier, which is a good thing because that means it won't overlap with Back to the 50s. Because normally it
Correct.
does.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's why I don't go to it. I might be able to go to that possibly.
In addition to that, I'd love to go to 50s. I'm going to go to both Proving Grounds and Power Cruise just because I'm so deprived of all these weird
I think
track
I'm
events.
gonna do Proving Grounds 2, not Proving Grounds 1.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to do Proving Grounds 2. And it's a big maybe, but I might try to squeeze in Monterey Car Week this year since
That's
works-
a lot of time
work-
off for me,
work-
but you are flexible.
Well, but I mean,
so,
that's things
yeah.
like work also. I can work wherever I feel like,
Yeah.
and it's also like a work event.
True.
So
There's definitely a presence, and you are technically nearby your employer. So
yeah, so
that
I
makes
can
sense.
just easily like just cut down my thing and just like write like 2 listings a day instead of 3.
Also, the Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. I believe that's the last year they're doing COTA Grand Prix.
What?
I think they're moving it to Miami the year after. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, that's fine. I'd rather go to Miami.
Yeah, but the track's boring there. So yes, COTA. The area around COTA sucks.
Where is COTA actually located?
Outside of Austin?
Oh, I don't want to go there. The only place in Texas I want to go to at all is Houston.
No, Houston's a shithole.
No, but it got slabs.
Most of Houston isn't that. Most of
I
Houston's
know,
just
but that's
depressing.
the thing, is if I was going to go to Houston, if I was going to go to Texas, the only reasons I would go to
Austin.
Texas is for a slab event.
Okay, that's like me going to Atlanta for the Donk event, so I accept
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like, it's Atlanta of slabs.
Which
like,
I need to find out what that is and then go to it also, because I really, really want to go appreciate
I
all
just
these
want to go to
donks.
Atlanta because that's one of my favorite cities. Like, it's legitimately one of my favorite cities in the world. I like Atlanta.
I have no feelings for Atlanta.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah,
Like, Atlanta's like
downtown, but
Oh no! If you actually can like get to Atlanta, it's like a big ass version of St. Paul. Yeah, it's.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
No, I mean it is like where it's an older city. It was designed to be an old city and everything. Atlanta's an awesome city. Anywhere like second suburbing further out, you might as well drive to Stone Mountain. It's awful. It's just full of white supremacists after that. But the actual city of Atlanta's great.
Well, I've been, like I said, I was in downtown when I was there last.
There's a really good restaurant that's actually downtown called
I believe
Southern.
It's
There's a lot of
huge goddamn city.
Yeah, but there's a really good one specifically. It's in a little house. And it's called Southern Kitchen.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Man, the best grits
Oh,
I've ever had in my life. Even better than homemade grits in Alabama.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Don't,
that good
don't
of
be telling whoever
that
made those.
good of grits.
Corey was very confused when he had grits for the first time. When we were at a Waffle House on the last trip to Houston. We were in Houston.
Yeah. You never had grits?
He had never had grits.
Oh,
He's like,
man.
what are grits? I'm like, oh, give them a go. They're
They're
like a potato rice.
It's
whatever.
polenta. It's corn.
I don't
It's
know.
mashed corn. It's polenta.
I think it's good, but I don't know. He like he couldn't eat it. I was like,
Bad grits are terrible,
Waffle
but
House
good
grits are
grits are the best thing in the world. And it's one of those things where it's like, grits are like a whiskey.
oh yeah.
If you have a bad whiskey, it's unpalatable. But if you have a good whiskey, it's the best thing you've ever put in your body. There's no in between.
Wow.
Well, I guess there isn't an in between, but there's just a massive range in quality of whiskey and grits.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I accept your metaphor, even though it's weird.
Yeah, I would like to go to some donks and slab events. I think that's more of a 2022 thing for me.
I think so too. I'm trying to mitigate. Well, not mitigate, but
apparently there's a big slab event that happened, or it was going to happen in Galveston, and all the police pulled over everyone and towed all of their cars because nobody had a permit for anything, and all their cars had illegal grill arms, like the super long spokes on their wheels.
Oh.
Because they all like stuck out like further than the lane
Yep.
itself. Because there's like 2 feet in each direction. It was bad.
Those I don't dig.
I dig that real hard.
The one
so
on the
about
trunk
it.
is always hilarious.
I love them. They're all great.
Seeing like a late model CTS with a trunk mounted spare tire with the grill arm.
I love
on
it. I'm like all in. I'm so all in on slabs. They're just like they're the next version of donks.
Oh my god.
And the thing is like slabs. What slabs have done for me is they've proven to me that there's no car that is inherently terrible, that is unmodifiable, that is just awful in every way. There's no car.
So you're saying a base model front wheel drive Jeep Cherokee?
I've lost faith that that's not unmodifiable, because I used to say that about the 97 Malibu, and that's like one of the bastions of slab culture is like the W body Malibu. Like,
Why?
They just take whatever's cheap, like whatever the cheapest possible like platform is, and then you do like 1970s Pitmobile mods to it. That's what a slab is, and it's the best thing ever. I'm so in on this because it's just hilarious, and it's like these cars are actually like some of them are kind of dumb, like some of them are really bad, but like there's some that are like well built by like low rider quality standards.
Okay.
And like when you look at the car, it's like a 2002 Buick Park Avenue Ultra with like an actual alligator skin interior. It's in like dyed green with like a Boyd Coddington steering wheel and like an incoherent neon sign that like says something that's like a flex, but they worked it down to like just like 10 letters because they get paid per letter to make neon.
Wow.
Like everything about slabs I love.
I want to see somebody mix a donk, a slab, and a lowrider together.
And just do like a 76 like
giant wheels with gorilla arms on a lowrider.
Yeah, that
with
just,
a theme.
That'd basically just be a very well built donk would be a lowrider, because you would add actuating suspension, because like a donk is a style of lowrider.
You'd never be able to hop it with like 25
never.
series
Never.
tires. But
Never. Unless it's like a semi truck.
No. Nope.
Anyway, let's move forward.
Okie doke. I want to go back to the East Coast real
Sure.
quick. And kind of harking back to episode 214 as well, kind of ripping on primary offenses and things like that. But we're talking also about St. Paul and Atlanta and how they're kind of old cities with weirdly designed roads. D.C. also actually it falls into that quite a bit, where the roads were just sort of, well, we need some, but everything's already developed, so just put them where you can. However, they do still have a police department, and just this week, two of their squad cars with 2 officers each were street racing each other.
Wait,
and
what?
They hit each other while street racing. And
How do you do that? I've never done that. I spent 10 years of my life street racing almost every night.
I would have to imagine somebody was ghost riding one of the whips, potentially.
I don't understand. I whenever I hear about somebody crashing into another racer while street racing, I don't understand it, because I've never come to a situation where I've almost crashed into somebody while street racing. That's just never happened to me.
I've never seen that either. Like, I've seen people crash at drag strips, and it's because of mechanical failure, and like maybe that's what happened here too, if they're going so fast that one of their all seasons exploded. But like,
yeah, but I mean, like, even then,
and they crashed hard enough to almost total both vehicles and injure all 4 occupants.
This is a perfect example of why we need to better train our police forces. And we need a higher like standard of like hiring, because currently, literally, if you can fog a mirror, you can become a cop, I think. Like, this is just ridiculous.
Well, especially if you have a really terrible sense of weight in your hand.
That's what I mean. Like, if you can just fog a mirror, like you can do nothing else with your body. Like, are you breathing? Do you have a pulse? Cool, you're on the force. Like,
and
this
it
is
used
ridiculous.
to be. Anyway, I don't mean to rip on the police quite as much.
Oh, they also destroyed a nearby home's fence as well.
Oh, I see. I did not catch that the first time around.
Wow.
So maybe they both crashed and somebody was like trying to avoid the obstacle and the other officer didn't see it, so they pushed the other car into the fence. I'm just gonna go with that.
Sure. I'm looking at, so you're saying that they were
How much
racing.
you want to bet?
I'm looking at how they hit each other, and it doesn't make sense to me. Also, it's not on the screen.
Oh.
But like I just
Ta-da!
I don't get it. Like how did they?
I don't know if this is actually an image of the two. Oh, it is because the airbag's blown.
Yes. Like I'm looking at this.
I'm guessing it had been moved since the collision because that doesn't make any sense. Nope. The airbags are off in both cars. I don't know.
Were they playing chicken? Was it like the racing scene in what movie is that? Rebel Without a Cause. That was their racing scene. We're not gonna drag race. We're just gonna play chicken. Whoever loses drives off a cliff, or whoever wins drives off a cliff.
That's the Groundhog Day scene.
Yeah,
where they're on
exactly.
the train tracks. I'm betting he'll swerve first. No. So I'm sure there will be accountability for this, and I'm sure they will, all have disciplinary action. Spec cop. Oh no, a mild direction change. Everyone killed. Oh man, is that a new video game? I'd like to play that.
Oh god,
play it
this
on the
is
sim
ridiculous.
rig. Where like the slightest direction change does nothing, and then a little bit more is full lock. Oh! And then if you hit like tase button, then it shoots.
So are they fired or what?
No, nothing yet.
What?
Yeah, nothing yet.
Listen, if I took one of my own cars
Mm-hmm.
at a branch roller event and crashed it into another employee's car, I'd be fired.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even a cop.
Don't worry, they were traveling at least 60 miles per hour in this residential area. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Why do I live in this
Yep,
country?
no, they haven't been, there's discussions.
They should be. I'm
but they
pissed
have
that they're not
been-
fired.
Yeah, they haven't
I'm
been
like,
sentenced for
I'm
anything.
legitimately mad they're not fired.
Need for Speed, Traffic Patrol. I think they kind of had that. Wasn't it like the most wanted one?
Yeah,
That's essentially just like if you
it
drove past a cop.
was very unrealistic because
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't shoot at you.
The night. Oh. I see. Well, it depends on what character you chose.
No, they just never shot at you.
So GTA is actually the real
Yeah,
world, then.
GTA is more accurate.
Oh, well, okay. You're not wrong.
Actually, fun fact in GTA,
Yeah.
they actually work. When you're playing single player, not online, when you're playing single player, the police AI responds differently depending on which character you're playing as. So if you're playing as Franklin, the black
Yeah,
fella,
yeah.
and you're driving, and like if you don't try to break the law, and you're driving in like the Beverly Hills area, I forgot what they call it in the game, the police will just pull you over and try to search your car and arrest you.
Awesome.
Sometimes for no reason. And if you're playing as Trevor, the meth head, when you're in his neighborhood, the police will actually abandon whatever pre-designated path they're on, and they'll follow your player vehicle for you until you lose them. And if you go off-road, then you'll get a 1-star wanted.
Refresh me. Grand Theft Auto 5. Game made quite a while ago.
2013
13?
or something.
Yeah.
It was on Xbox 360. I remember I got the updated version for Xbox One, and I was really excited because it had better traffic.
That is honestly the difference in like old games versus modern games. Way more than texture or like
Yeah, it's the
resolution.
amount of traffic.
How much traffic, how many people.
Yeah.
It's like that's all it is. It's like how much processor can we squeeze out of this bad boy?
Exactly.
And the answer is not very much.
So, yeah, GTA 5 is actually very, very
It's
accurate.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's really accurate. And if you're playing as Michael, you get arrested never. Like, you can just, like, because you're an entitled middle-aged white guy,
Yep.
you can literally get away with anything. Also depends on the car you're driving. Because you're driving
I was gonna say if you're driving the Charger,
if you're driving like a clapped-out car,
Mm-hmm.
Depending on your neighborhood, yeah, police will follow you. Really, really interesting how they did, and it's for something that nobody ever does, because nobody ever actually follows the law in GTA 5.
right?
But like, I am one of those people.
I do that. Like I'll sit at the left turn.
I love doing that. It's like one of my favorite things to do with that game. Is like just be immersed and like one of my favorite things. Like I did this during the pandemic. Is like I was like tired of never had any traffic, so I was tired of like being at home. So I'd literally play GTA 5. I'd go into like play as Michael. I'd go grab like a minivan or something, and I'd just go sit in traffic on the highway. And I listen to NPR. I listen to Chatterbox FM, which is like their NPR. I just listened to
I
it.
loved driving so much more in the middle of the pandemic with no traffic.
It was so much better, but it's like because I could just exit the car and just be done with it, and just blow everybody up if I was mad. But like it's kind of nice. So like I can just vibe and just like enjoy my traffic.
GTA 5 Los Angeles existence
Yes,
simulator.
I want that. Give me that.
The 405, where is it?
Give me that. I want that. Put it.
Shane,
Oh.
no more suggestions. No more
Anyway.
suggestions, because then Ryan's going to want them.
Yes, I do want them. I already do want it. So, do you remember when 500Es, Mercedes 500Es were affordable?
Okay. I mean, I remember when they were like 15 to 18 grand.
Just click on this.
Oh, God.
But not anymore.
Oh, 91,000. Great. $91,000.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty late one.
Yes, it's a E500 and it's Euro, and it's one of 951 made.
Low miles.
Yeah. It's like
And-
pretty much a perfect one.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's even
But-
got like the Evo. Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Evo
know
2
it's really good, but I hate this because I always thought like, yeah, the 500E is like the best way to spend $20,000.
At one point in time, it was a really good decision. And I'll bring it back to this Chris Harris did video not long ago when these were not worth that much money.
Yeah.
We need a Carbitrage desert bus live stream. What? I'm gonna need some more context on that, Shane. But anyway, yeah, this was like, it was all the good things about the 1ID 2.316 and the Sport line. And then you
Yeah.
added the best V8 engine, and other than a 3-pedal box being absent, it was pretty much perfect. But yeah, I mean, the Porsche co-developed the brakes and suspension for it. Mercedes fit the bodywork over that, and it was just
It's literally a perfect.
it laid the groundwork for modern AMG.
It is a perfect. It's a perfect example of what German engineering is supposed to be. And there's no reason on earth that car should ever, in its entire life, have been worth anything less than $50,000. And I'm a little mad that I didn't get in on it. A Desert Bus is a game that's a real-time simulation of driving a bus from Tucson to Vegas.
I need that.
On board for that.
I am 100% on board.
Very into that.
I wonder if it has steering wheel controls. I want to do it on the sim rig.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. But
Oh yeah. look
yeah,
at
this
thing.
is
That's so clean.
it's so perfect. But it was a crime that this car was ever affordable. It should have never been affordable. I should have bought one when they were affordable, but
Well, just rest it knowing at night that you could still have an E420, which is still so good, and they are worth literally nothing.
and 420.
I mean, sure, yeah.
So I've always made that joke with like people I know that like sell drugs. I'm like, why don't you buy an E420 or Mercedes 420 SEL? I'm like, why? How do you not get this joke? You need to do the thing. Do the thing with the 420. It's funny.
I did the thing where I didn't have this thing
Oh,
up again.
I'm sorry.
I fixed it.
But yeah, like
Sorry, Shane.
the 420s are still like cheap.
They are so cheap.
Or not. Don't Google, but like go to search and search for 420 SEL.
On Bring a Trailer?
Yeah.
Not SEL. E420.
No. Try the 420 SEL.
I don't care
It's a
about
proof of concept, though. That's what I'm saying. Is
But like, look at this super nice
sold.
E420 for $5,500.
Yeah, but look at the 420 SEL. Just
Do I
because-
want to know? Because I actually really like my 420 SEL.
oh, they're so worth absolutely nothing.
Oh,
and
okay.
They're so great.
Good. I'm glad they're
And
still
this
worth
is
nothing.
one that
Oh my God.
It's so much car for so little money.
$5,800. Ooh.
It
As
had-
long as it doesn't burn oil.
It had a little bit of rust on it. That was it.
Ah,
The
whatever.
smallest bubble, like on the fender, and it's just so nice. It's if you want to.
I was buying auto transmissions out of these for Blubski because they didn't interchange with the 560, even though it's the exact same transmission. Exact same. I've run both in the car.
Oh, weird.
I don't know why, but
That's
like the
so odd.
M116, or sorry, the M116 and the M117 cars just didn't
But-
list interchange.
Yeah, like I can't. I cannot say.
Dude, somebody put
with-
wide body on this one.
God, that's great. But I can't say with a straight face that I wouldn't be thrilled to own this. Also, I would actually take a 420 over a 560
Oh my
or a
God.
500.
This person like did all the 500e stuff to this 420, and it was 10 grand.
Oh my God!
Or
See,
12,
like
whatever.
what are you?
This is the play. Buy
Yeah,
an E420 with the
that's-
body
that-
shit on it.
That is your play. If you want a Mercedes.
And then if you really want a 500, just put the engine in it. It was
Yeah,
just
right.
a 5-liter. Okay, I need to stop looking at these because now I kind of want a 124 again.
You kind of. How do you think I feel? I really want.
Well, I see you shifting around uncomfortably in your seat.
Well,
so
no,
I'm
that's just
guessing-
because I hate the seat.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have been sitting for 2 hours and 18 minutes. So that makes sense.
See, the thing is, I really want a
That would agree.
I want a 560 SEC, but I don't want to spend money on it.
I'm aware.
So I can probably.
You can get a 500.
They made a 420 SEC, didn't
Not
they?
here. In Europe, they probably did.
I feel like they made a not 560 SEC. They made a SEC. It wasn't a 560. I'm sure.
It was probably like a 380. Oh, they did make a 380 SEC here.
I would probably.
And
buy
those
something
engines
like
are crap.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Because they're single row timing chain.
They are real bad.
Yeah, they're real bad. I don't want that. But they made a what was the 420 in? It was in
Just the SEL and the
just
SE.
SEL. I'd take a 420 SEL.
I just want to confirm.
Yes,
Yep.
I did.
Oh yeah, there's your winner right there, buddy, because it won't be running.
Well, that's the thing is, I just want one so I can put a Koenig wide body kit on it. And
Just
I
drop
don't,
a small block in. It's fine.
And that's as I say, I do not want to deal with Mercedes garbage.
Or I have a spare 5.5 liter 117 on a stand in my garage. You may have it.
Oh, well, there we go. So I can just make it right.
Yep. Have the
fix it
good
all.
dual row engine that's indestructible, and
Yeah.
all they did was add one more roller chain to it.
One more roller chain, and then I can put a big dumb wide body kit on it.
And the Euro headlights. God, you gotta have Euro headlights.
No, of course. Well, I think that the wide body kit only fits Euro headlights.
I would be surprised if it was able to. Anyway, whatever. So yeah,
420 is the
I'm-
way to go. Like the E4.
I'm with you.
The E420, 420 SEL, like those are the 420 is the play. You're right.
But yeah, I'm more in agreement that these should never have been cheap than I am mad that they are now this expensive.
Yeah, no, this is the price that they should be.
Yeah.
So, the world is
look
like
at-
right now.
Look at like an RS2 Avant, like, oh, it's an Audi wagon, but like Porsche co-developed. I'm like, yeah. Look at the 500e, better car, same
Way
thing.
better car in every way. Like, I'm just, I was almost mad that I could afford one. It's one of those things.
Oh yeah.
Like-
I want to live life not knowing that I could have overlapped with anything that I can't now.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those cars where it's like, there's other cars where I'm mad that I can't afford them now. AEW 11.
Well, even worse because you had one.
A86, S13, all of those. But it's like, this is like an FCRX7. There's no reason that this should be affordable, and I'm glad that this isn't. And the FC really needs to not be affordable, because the FCRX7 should not be affordable. It's not, that quality of vehicle should not be as affordable as it is. You can get a Turbo 2 for $15,000 all day long.
Oh my god.
This should not be
And
that cheap.
those are pretty good.
They're great! It's the best way to make 200 horsepower.
God, I'm so angry.
It's so fun. It's a blast. I love them. And you're going to have to rebuild the engine at some point, so you can just rebuild
but
it
who
with...
cares?
Yeah,
It's
but
not like it's a Renaissance.
Well, no, that's
though.
the thing is, like, you rebuild it, and, like, nobody cares that's been rebuilt. They're actually thrilled that it's rebuilt, and it makes more power. And it's more fuel efficient. It's just better in every way. Because, like, every generation up until the Renaissance got better.
Yeah. And you can put the later junk in the
Yeah,
FC
you
engines
can
too,
totally-
so it's
yeah.
like you can put FD all the garbage
And
in there.
they're all totally, like, modular, so you can put, like, if you really want, you can probably put a 12A1 rotor and, like, a 13B other rotor.
How bad do you want a rotary to lope?
But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but you could theoretically do that. Like, you can do a bunch of dumb shit with rotaries. So, like,
Yeah, you probably could.
this and the FC are just two cars that should not be affordable, ever. And it's a crime that they are, and this should be reserved for the 1%.
Yeah, these exclusively belong in car fleets of people that I really can't talk to because I'm too poor.
I think I'm going to buy an FC Turbo 2 at some point. I should buy one soon.
If you're gonna get one, yeah, probably.
I think when I'm done with my Cressida, I'm going to buy an FC Turbo 2. Because they're really good. I quite badly want one.
You're
and
not gonna buy a 2003 XJR?
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt
On
me,
that
boy.
bombshell.
I am the Senate.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Hey, also, thank you for listening, patrons. Because on top of another hello,
Did
get
you just give them
another-
a 3? No, it's 2 things, 2
No,
hellos.
They get 2 thanks, 2 hellos, and then a second goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.